Hey, London, England, we're coming back to your city in the greatest way possible. This September 23rd through 25th is the London Podcast Festival at the greatest place in the world, King's Place. You know it's great because it's built for kings, Tom.
Built by kings for kings.
Yeah, we've played there a lot. It's a great venue. We're coming back in September.
Not just us.
Yeah, we're doing Friday and Saturday nights, but Judge John Hodgman, the illusionist, the Dave Hill's, the goddamn Dave Hill show, My Dad Wrote a Porno, The Things We Do for Love, a million other podcasts that are really great are all doing things there. Tickets go on sale in just a couple weeks, May 31st at noon. So go get your tickets, and we'll see you in London, September 23rd to 25th at the London Podcast Festival. Do it today.
Well, there's nothing for them to do today.
Yeah, you know. Think about it. Write it in your diary.
Hello and welcome to the Complete Guide to Everything, a podcast about everything. I am one of your hosts, Tom.
I'm Tim.
Tim, how are you doing this lovely week?
I'm doing great this week,
Great
Tom.
to hear.
We both had some whiskey. I think this topic, this episode's going to go a little off the rails.
Yeah.
It's probably a bad idea for both of us to drink whiskey beforehand
Yeah.
because it's something that we feel actually passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
But I've also been giving a lot of thought to something.
Okay.
Tom,
Yeah.
do you like stand-up comedy?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it depends on the stand-up comedian,
Yeah,
like anything, Tim.
I grew up loving stand-up comedy.
Uh-huh.
Like, since I was a little kid, I'd watch Stand-Up Spotlight starring Rosie O'Donnell on VH1.
Mm-hmm.
I'd see the Kevin Meanies of the world, right? Remember those guys?
Yeah.
Those kind of comics.
Right.
Grew up on them, loved it.
Mm-hmm. Well, this was during the comedy boom of like the 80s and 90s, where it was just like they didn't have anything to put on cable TV.
Yeah, let's put a guy in a turquoise suit and a really big tie.
Yeah, let him do his set.
Yeah, exactly. Let him do his set about like how hip hop music is all just talking, and he doesn't understand how that's even music.
Right.
But Tom, we went and saw a stand-up comedy show the other day at a comedy club.
Yeah.
I felt like I had bugs crawling all over me. That's how uncomfortable I was the whole time. It was like, I got to get out of here and take a shower. This place, we went to go see Norm Macdonald. Mm-hmm. I thought we were seeing like an hour-long Norm Macdonald special.
I thought at least a half hour.
Yeah.
Neither of us did any research about what we were going to see.
So we went and saw Norm Macdonald basically do 5 minutes of material and then introduce a bunch of like scummy New York comics. It's fine. You know what? Everybody's got their thing.
Right.
But like stand-up comedy.
Now, Tim, I know you don't like New York values, and that's what you're alluding to.
No, you know what I don't like, Tom?
These scummy New Yorkers talking about their New York problems.
No, everybody had 5 minutes on Zika.
Yeah.
Everybody had 5 minutes on the transgender bathroom stuff, which, like, it was not the most enlightening night of my life.
Yeah.
But, like, the warm-up comedian came out beforehand.
Uh-huh.
And this is why I hate stand-up comedy, Tom.
Okay.
Because it was, like, in a comedy club.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy comes out. You were there. And he's like, just so everybody knows, tonight's not going to be politically correct. The comics up here are going to say whatever they want. And everybody just went at this
You hear that,
this guy
honey?
with a ponytail and a soul patch was like, oh, yeah, this is great. Finally, people will say overtly racist things, and we can laugh and applaud them, unlike...
And I won't get called into HR.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they don't like my, racist jokes.
Yeah.
The fact that people are, like, applauding the fact that he's like, look, you're going to hear a lot of racial slurs tonight. And everybody was, like, going nuts. Like, yeah, But, like, the other thing was, it was all races there that were applauding. Like, Yeah, I can't wait to hear these
Yeah,
racial slurs.
Yeah, it was pretty beautiful, Tim.
Yeah, I didn't know what to make of it. I think
it was
I might
exactly what Dr. King envisioned when he talked about everybody getting together at the table.
Part of that dream he had, right, was everybody coming together to like with a 2-drink minimum and a very high cover charge to hear people
some tired racist
shit. But not even like it was a veritable rainbow coalition in there laughing at the N-word and just generally very, very offensive voices that people were doing of certain accents.
Yeah,
it was all
in good fun, Tim, and for a good cause. No, it wasn't for any cause.
Yeah, it was probably to grease the palms of a mafia-run comedy club. Yeah.
You know what it is? I don't dislike stand-up comedy. Well, when's the last stand-up comedy show you've seen before this one?
Well, I've been to in hipster rooms. You know, like I saw one at in the lot of a car wash in Williamsburg, where it wasn't a comedy show. It was somebody. It was like more of a lecture about the patriarchy, which I think a lot of the dudes in the audience were learning a lot. But nobody was really laughing at all.
Right. They were thinking. They were too busy thinking.
Yeah, and it was fine. But I was like, I came here to laugh. You came and you left early.
Yeah.
You were at that show too.
It's like, I don't want to hear about this.
Yeah, I know about this. I've benefited from this.
Yeah.
Please.
I
got a great thing going here.
Hey, keep that to yourself. Yeah. Well, my point was just going to be that, any of I think stand-up's a good medium for longer stuff, like half hour, an hour. Like I saw David Cross recently. I saw him do an hour, and he was really funny. And comedy specials, I still really like. There
are 8 comedians that I would want to sit down and watch, right? And the rest of them are just road dogs, right? They go out there and they just
and I think
say the right racial slurs and make the right timely jokes about Zika and the unfortunate effects of it.
Well,
and
I
babies.
think so much of this, why it was no good, was that the jokes weren't topical. They were just things that were topical a few years ago.
Yeah, there was a guy that had a whole run on the H1N1. That was the bird flu from 2009.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
come on.
God, that's legitimately 7 years ago now, sir.
Yeah.
It was a big deal at the time. At least I think he tried. Oh, this guy, there was one guy that had an Ebola run.
Yeah.
Which in itself wasn't terribly timely.
Right.
But slipped into the bird flu run, which he clearly updated his bird flu material to make it about Ebola.
Yeah.
And then forgot halfway through, or his muscle memory failed him. Yeah.
Yeah. And there was somebody who did their cruise show set. Their set that they obviously do on a cruise ship.
Because it was all cruise ship related.
And it was just I just got off a cruise ship, and that was the only addition to their obviously very honed.
Yeah, it was all about what happens on the decks of the cruise ship. And
have you guys been up to the 7th deck? Oh boy, up there.
Yeah, she changed. She changed to I just got off of cruise ship from here we are on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So not very terribly timely, and I'm just thinking have you been on cruise ships for so long that you forgot what your jokes were before then that got you hired to be on a cruise ship, or
maybe she's always just had
cruise ship
material and the cruise ship agents were hell yeah, now this we can sell.
Yeah.
This is something we can work with.
Tim, I'm telling you, I've been on cruise ships, not working, but every stand-up comedian on cruise ships has got a solid 15 about cruise ships, and it's all the same.
Yeah, well, what is it, Tom?
live. It's that. It's like stupid questions they get on the cruise ship.
Yeah.
Like
a lot of buffet jokes, right?
a lot of buffet jokes. A lot of jokes about how much everybody's eating. Mostly just jokes about how much everybody's eating. Because I think they're like, don't make jokes about like how easy it is for like a disease to spread very quickly. Don't make any jokes about like the ship going down, everybody drowning, or sharks, or pirates, or like getting injured on one of the islands, or like getting robbed. No jokes about that kind of stuff.
Right. Keep it to cruise ship related and like offensive stereotypes.
And offensive stereotypes, yeah.
Stuff everybody loves.
Exactly. So yeah, my point is just going to be that I've rarely gone to like a stand-up show where it's like a bunch of people performing that I've been happy, because it's just always just going to be such a mixed bag.
I never want to hear anybody's 5 minutes. I want to hear the sprawling, and I don't want to hear. And there's only 8 people who I want to hear their sprawling thing. I just don't. I think I don't like comedy, Tom.
Yeah. Well.
Too many people in the comedy game these
everybody
days.
listening to this is like, it's been obvious for a while.
Hey, Tom.
Yeah.
Go screw. Tom?
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
Yeah.
This week, I'm not sure what the topic is, nor are you.
Mm-hmm.
We
know what we want to talk about, but we don't know which. We want to talk about the Ghostbusters reboot, but we don't know
if we want to just make it about Ghostbusters,
right,
or if we want to make it about reboots, and then we'll talk about Ghostbusters, and then we'll go into other reboots.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll see where the conversation takes us, but I just thought it would be good up top right here to be transparent.
Like a ghost.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. Great, Tim. Thank you for being so honest and open with us.
The other thing is, Tom, what we've been doing lately with this show is recording on like Wednesday or Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing a lot of hand gestures.
Yeah, nobody can see them. It's fine. As long as you don't make them so fast that you start making whooshing sounds. Or like a crack, like a whip.
He's got the fastest hands in podcasting.
He just moved his hand so fast it cracked like a whip.
We've been recording them earlier in the week, and we released them on Sunday nights, as everybody knows. Mm-hmm. I feel like something like this might be stale by Sunday night.
Evergreen content, Tim.
Yeah?
Yeah. Evergreen. People are listening to this hundreds of years in the future.
All right. So the context of this is movie studios are lazy, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, not necessarily lazy, but they're profit driven.
Right. And they figured out probably one of the most effective ways to make a lot of money is to give people what they know already.
Yeah. Give people... Figure out something. Well, yeah, I was
going
to say...
What did we sell them before that they liked? Let's do that again. Tweak it.
Well, but sometimes it's not even things people liked. It's just something that's familiar enough that they're like, well, they'll recognize this, so put it out there again.
There's a MacGyver reboot.
Yeah. And even that, it's like, I remember watching MacGyver as a kid and always thinking like, God, this show's boring. Like,
no,
all I
want
to see...
MacGyver.
Well, but
you just wanted to see him use a gun? He was against guns.
I didn't want me of all people, I did not want to see him use a gun. I just wanted to see him like make something.
Yeah, he did.
He did, but not enough. As like a kid, I wanted a show that was just an hour and like 60 times within that hour, every minute, he'd be, tying gum to a string.
Tom, I got a suggestion for you.
Yeah.
Watch a goddamn episode of Mr. Wizard.
Oh, I used to watch Mr. Wizard in the morning, but that was before school.
As the old saying goes, don't come to MacGyver expecting Mr. Wizard, because you'll always leave depressed.
What was the plot of MacGyver?
MacGyver, Richard Dean Anderson.
Yeah.
And
that's just the actor. It's not plot.
Right. No. Pete, an older bald man, was his keeper or something.
See, you're not entirely sure if he was his boss.
He was his boss for something. I don't know who he worked for.
Right.
He worked for Pete. I don't know what the organization was, and I don't think it was just like Pete was like, hi, I'm just a guy, you're going to work for me. I think
Right.
Pete represented an organization as well.
It wasn't a two-man organization.
Right. And then whenever there'd be people doing bad things,
Right.
breaking the law and whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
they were kind of vigilantes. I think you'd like this, right? Or they might have been a shadow government thing.
I think they worked for some government organization.
Richard Dean Anderson, MacGyver, TV's MacGyver, would Angus MacGyver, Tom.
Yeah.
You've found that out in the second to last episode.
Wow.
He would investigate and find something, and eventually he and Pete and some lady, I think the lady changed every week, would find themselves locked in a room.
Yeah.
It was essentially the plot of every 60s Batman episode where, like, you know, they go to investigate, and then like how Batman and Robin would find themselves tied above a vat of acid or something, and then he'd use his utility belt.
Right.
MacGyver would use paper clips and stuff.
Just whatever he had laying around.
Yeah. And bust him out of there, and then they'd find the bad guy like in Scooby-Doo and be like, "It was you all along."
Yeah.
And then it would go. Dun, 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 dun,
It had the best intro and best song. You know what? I think that's what it was. That the intro had a great song that you just sang, and it just showed it was like a greatest hits reel of like all the gadgets he made.
There were so many
out
explosions.
of everyday objects.
There were 100 times more explosions in the opening credits than there were in the show. Yeah.
And when I was watching as a kid, I just wanted when the opening ended and it would go dun, 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 right? Was that how it ended? Something like I would want it to immediately then go dun, 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 and just show more. Just show more explosions, more him making things.
Yeah, keep the song going. Keep the party going. Don't look. Rule number one of entertainment: don't stop the party, man.
Yeah, keep it going. An hour of that. An hour of that every week. Maybe that's what the reboot's gonna be. How great would that be? I'd watch it every week. I'd tune in live.
Sit through the commercials.
Yeah. Commercials are over. Great. Dun, 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 dun.
This guy. Oh, yeah. I'm on board. Yeah.
Boom. Whoa.
Hell yeah.
So do you know anything about the reboot?
No. It doesn't have Richard Dean Anderson. Unless he's going to play Pete.
Probably. That's what they do nowadays.
Yeah, that'd be nice. He's probably going to play like a shop owner that winks at us, the viewer, at some point, right?
Yeah. Or or the bad guy, maybe.
Yeah, I don't like when they do that because it solely. Well, no. Here I am.
Yeah,
I'm making the argument.
Yeah, your whole thing. Well, I guess maybe we should start by talking about the Ghostbusters reboot because that's what You're not mad about the Ghostbusters reboot. You're mad at the people who are mad at the Ghostbusters reboot. But here you are being like, but they better not put Richard Dean Anderson as a villain.
You gotta utilize Richard Dean Anderson in the spirit of the original.
It's just so insulting to the original MacGyver to put him.
All right. They're making.
Did you ever watch Stargate? Was that what Richard Dean Anderson was on?
Tom, yeah, he was in that. I saw the movie Stargate.
Yeah. Well, that was way before, not way before, but years before the TV show.
Worst. I think that movie was 6 hours long.
Well, Tim, you were not an executive at Sci-Fi.
Worst 6 hours of my life.
That movie was not 6 hours long.
I saw it with a friend of the show, AJ.
Yeah. He loved it, I'm sure.
He was really into it.
He was like, I hope they make this into a TV show.
Yeah.
A long-running TV show.
My word, that was the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. It was so boring.
I barely remember. I remember that there was a Stargate, and they went to ancient Egypt in it. But I don't think it was ancient Egypt. It was a different planet. And it was like those people from that planet came and they made ancient Egypt, and that's how we got it.
At one point, I had to take a walk. I was like, I'll be back, and I just hung
you
out.
Were probably 12 or 13?
Yeah, I hung out at the snack bar for a little while. I was like,
you gotta get out of here. You have to go back in the movie, sir.
Yeah, I was like, I'm still deciding about these Reese's Pieces or the Sour Patch Kids. And I was fat at the time. I was probably like, give me both.
So they were probably like, oh, yeah, no, we'll let him. Don't
take them both at $25.
Don't pressure him while he's making this decision. He's liable to lash out.
Yeah, this might put our kids through college. This purchase at the snack bar. He came out of the movie while it was going on.
So this is a mom and pop snack bar.
Yeah. It's back in the days before everything was so corporate.
Right.
The movie theater.
When, hey, just an average citizen could go open up a snack bar inside a movie theater without the government getting involved.
Times were different. Yeah, exactly. You don't have to pay Obama every time you want to sell
you need to
package
be a
of
big
snow
corporation
caps.
Before the big corporations took over all the independent snack bars.
Exactly.
But you were mad about the Ghostbusters, the new Ghostbusters.
No, here's the thing, Tom.
You said you're mad that they're women now?
I don't like this. Starting from a hole here.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go back.
Okay.
Let me tell you.
Let me go back to 1984.
Was that when started?
84 or 86?
No, 84. The first
Ghostbusters.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't 80. I saw Ghostbusters when I was a kid.
Yeah. If it wasn't 84, there are people listening right now that are like, they have no right to talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. You look that up.
Okay.
I saw it when I was a kid, and I was like, oh, this was a cool, fun movie. All right. I got on with my life. I rented Ghostbusters 2 from Blockbuster.
84.
I was like,
oh, no, it says here 2016.
Huh? Well, this is my... like, I'm a normal person, Tom. So I've heard people clamoring for Ghostbusters 3 forever.
Right.
And I have tried to be the voice of reason, going like, guys, Ghostbusters 2 wasn't good.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. Like, find another movie to like.
Right.
And enjoy the original movie.
Mm-hmm.
They decide not to make a Ghostbusters 3. Right. Harold Ramis passes away.
Yeah.
Bill Murray is too busy being a leering pervert and like chasing after women who are less than half his age.
Well, in fairness, not to that point.
When is Bill Murray?
Yeah.
When it's coming. The tide's gonna turn, man.
Well,
all he does is just ogle freaking young women and talk about
I mean, if all he does is ogle them, then that's, still not okay, but, it could be worse.
It could, yeah, anything could be worse.
My point was just going to be that they made a Ghostbusters video game that supposedly, took the script, or at least, the ideas of Ghostbusters 3.
Dan Aykroyd is a maniac. Dan Aykroyd
I think you've said that multiple times on this show.
Went off the rails hard. And the only person I'd be
he kind of turned into his character from Nothing But Trouble.
He really did.
Yeah.
And he's selling vodka out of a freaking skull.
Nah, that's pretty cool. Out of all the things he's doing, Tim, that's
But anyway,
mm-hmm.
So the studio's like, well, we still want to make money off this thing.
Right. We haven't been able to... Well, it was... they always said Bill Murray was the holdout.
Yeah.
Why they couldn't make another one for years and years.
And then he just toyed with everybody. He showed up in that movie Zombieland.
Yeah.
Was that what the movie was called?
Yeah.
In a Ghostbusters uniform.
Yeah.
Singing and dancing to Ghostbusters.
He showed up... No, he showed up at an award.
No. And he was in that movie playing Ghostbusters with them, and he showed up at an award show dressed up as a Ghostbuster.
He showed up playing Ghostbusters with them
in the movie Zombieland.
No, I think you're thinking of Dan Aykroyd in the movie Casper.
No, Tom, why would I have ever seen the movie Casper?
You've never seen Casper?
No,
but Dan Aykroyd's in that.
That came out when I was fully an adult.
Dan Aykroyd's... No, you weren't an adult yet. Dan Aykroyd, you were too old for it, but you weren't an adult yet. Dan Aykroyd's in that playing Ray, and he's in the costume and everything, and it's just like a quick cameo of him going into a house with ghosts and being like, nope, I'm not doing it, and running out. But I remember seeing it and thinking they got him to do all this, but for some reason he's got a goddamn mustache in this movie. Shave off that mustache. You don't look like Ray from Ghostbusters.
You don't
And
get
you're
Dan
not-
Aykroyd to do anything these days that he doesn't want to do.
He was doing a dumb Ghostbusters cameo in the Casper movie. It's not like he had that mustache for another role.
Maybe he did.
I don't think he did. I think it was a fake mustache.
I think he just is like, I'm just gonna be the sleaze bag I was always meant to be.
I saw him on stage once.
Oh really? Yeah.
Introducing Slowhand.
Eric Clapton.
Yeah, he was introducing Eric Clapton at Madison Square Garden.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you yell at Clapton is God?
Yeah. Get him, Ray.
I'm not gonna fight you on this Zombieland thing, but it
Okay.
happened. I'll show you the clip when we break. But yeah. So Bill Murray. So anyway, the studio's like, well, we have this franchise, and we're lazy,
Right.
and we know people will pay to see.
I don't think it's necessarily lazy. We're risk averse.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're risk averse, so we'll make a reboot.
Yeah.
Let's get Paul Feig to do
We're
it.
sitting on this property, and
Which I would say, yeah, okay, cool. Come up with a new idea.
yeah.
That's fine.
Well, it's Sony Columbia who, the same thing why Spider-Man's like in the Captain America movie, and they're like, all right, Marvel, like you guys can, because they have valuable properties that they seem like they just can't get their act together to like do something with them or leave them alone.
Tom, I thought if we talked about something that you
Uh-huh.
were obsessed with, like Ghostbusters,
I'm not obsessed with Ghostbusters.
it would keep you from turning the conversation to superheroes.
Well, Tim, I'm just saying, everything comes back to that.
Not for normal people.
All right, continue. So Sony's got the rights to Ghostbusters, but they ain't doing much with it.
So they were like, okay, well, we'll just make a movie.
We'll do something
We'll
with
get Paul Feig to do it.
Yeah.
Paul Feig made a lot of great movies, some
And-
great TV shows.
Yeah. And hasn't been handed something that he's like royally ever screwed up.
No, I mean, I think I've seen all his movies.
Spy?
And, yeah, I've seen Spy. Spy
And that was like a
is-
big hit.
Spy is freaking hilarious, Tom.
Yeah.
Like,
I downloaded it to watch it because I haven't seen it yet.
yeah, you bought it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So they give it to him.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, we're gonna reboot this movie. We're gonna like tell a similar story, right?
Yeah.
In a different universe, in an alternate universe or whatever. And
We'll get to that.
we're gonna make the Ghostbusters females.
Yeah.
Because I see where he's coming from. Even
Paul Feig.
Paul Feig,
Mhm.
not from like first of all, I think this cast is very funny, right?
Mhm.
And like if you're gonna pick 4 iconic comedians right now in 2016,
Right.
I can't think of 4 like male comedians that would fit the bill.
Adam Sandler, David Spade, Rob Schneider, Kevin James. It's right there. Right
That's
there,
true.
Tim.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Sorry.
I should be running Sony.
Yeah. Oh, brother.
God.
Can you imagine? But that's what people... So anyway, it was announced that these 4 women were
Right.
going to be the 4 Ghostbusters,
Mhm.
and everybody revolted. And not everybody.
Right.
A fringe
Yeah.
revolted. And this is the story of America in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
A fringe group of jerks
Yeah.
gets vocal about something,
Uh-huh.
and then the tail wags the freaking dog, right?
true.
And it's all anybody can talk, and it gets blown out of proportion.
Even us, one of the most reputable news sources.
yeah, we are.
We're not immune.
Yeah, we got caught. We got pulled into this
Yeah.
hullabaloo.
Uh-huh. And, we got to straighten it out once and for all.
Yeah.
I mean, it is, I definitely, so there was like a Ghostbusters 3 script, but then for like years and years and years, there was a thing where, I keep saying like, there was a thing. It was Dan Aykroyd. Dan Aykroyd was the only one out there being like, hey, would you like to hear my ideas for another Ghostbusters
And I don't
movie?
even think he wanted jokes in it. I think he just wanted to build the mythology of the ghosts and the ancient ghost civilization and stuff.
Yeah.
Because he's just a lunatic.
Yep. Well,
He's a sleazebag lunatic.
well, Tim, are you saying that based on the time he got oral sex from a ghost? Is that what you're basing your opinions on?
Yeah,
Because that was a movie.
Look, there was a lot of stuff in that movie
Mm-hmm.
that wasn't great. I mean, it was a fine movie, and I know this is like kind of a hipster argument to make now,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a good movie, but it's good because you saw it when you were 6.
Well, I will say this, that I think the first Ghostbusters did catch lightning in a bottle somewhat, where like it shouldn't have worked as well as it did. And I think Ghostbusters 2 illustrates that.
Right.
Where you had, it wouldn't it be as good if you didn't have someone like Dan Aykroyd being like, no, there has to be like this crazy mythology world built out behind all this. There has to be like quote unquote real things behind, but they're like paranormal things. But he was reined in enough by everybody else. Be like, yeah, well, no, people.
It's got to be funny and entertaining as well. Yeah.
Although I don't think that was necessarily the problem with the second one. The second one had more of the mythology, but the second
one was a classic Home Alone 2 situation.
Yeah, the big problem with the second one was just that they were like, what should we do in the sequel? Not Home Alone 2. Ghostbusters 2 was the first reboot of Ghostbusters. That was like a remake of Ghostbusters 1.
Yeah.
Even as a kid, I remember distinctly the first time I watched Ghostbusters 2 in the opening where it's like, yeah, Ray and Winston are at a kid's birthday party and the kids want He-Man instead, thinking, A, nobody really likes He-Man that much anymore. But B, so it's already as a kid like this is a little dated. But I was like, B, wait, no, everybody doesn't remember when they fought Zool? The whole city gathered around to watch. You're telling me
they got sued, Tom. It was a classic Batman v Superman situation where Superman defeated the Goblin Mask Man or something, and then everybody turned on him because he destroyed the city in the process.
They were a little mad at that, but they were more mad that they were like, no, it didn't really happen. It was like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man tore down the streets. He was all over the place. People were covered in marshmallows.
I don't remember any of this.
And they were just basically like, yeah, well, everybody thinks that was just a tall tale now. It's like, what? No, that doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
And also what? There are no more ghosts nowadays?
Tom, I think they proved that there were ghosts.
Well, they were. I guess all the ghosts were.
It lived in a painting. I think, if I'm to be completely honest.
Well, Vigo the Carpathian lived in the painting. Yeah,
yeah.
Not all the ghosts.
Yeah.
The rest were in the slime. But my point was going to be the reason why I was laying that out is that for years and years and years, then there was like we're going to make like a Ghostbusters the new class. And we're going to have all these other comedians. Like, we're going to have, like, Chris Farley be one of the new Ghostbusters. And we're going to have, a bridge movie where the old Ghostbusters are going to be in it. But then we're going to introduce a new Ghostbusters.
But who wants that? Who, like, in theory, I can see, like, oh, that'd be a lot of fun. But, like, you don't, like, they're going to have to, like, make stupid, like, fan service callbacks and like references to the other stuff, and it's gonna have to have like anytime where you have to play where your movie has to exist inside these barriers of like, no, this is what a Ghostbusters movie has to be now. Then you're handicapping that movie from the get-go, right?
So you're basically saying, in your opinion, a Ghostbusters movie doesn't even need to have ghosts.
Yeah, sure.
Or even if it does have ghosts, they don't need to be busted.
Yeah. Maybe Ghostbusters, maybe they're the misguided ones. Maybe they're trying to bust ghosts, but ghosts are really the ones that are helping out. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd watch that movie.
Yeah.
Watch a movie about some good ghosts.
Well, you're a traitor to the living, Tom.
Well, Tim, you know what? I've already seen a movie about a good ghost, and it's called Casper.
How old were you when you saw Casper?
5 or 6, I believe.
I think that movie came out in 2011.
No, I don't think so.
I felt the oldest I ever felt today at work.
Mm-hmm.
I work with some younger people.
Yeah.
And one of them was like, it's like that movie Kangaroo Jack.
Yeah.
I think I was like 25 when Kangaroo Jack came out, and I was like, I don't know what the movie. And he's like, well, no, everybody saw that. Every kid saw that movie.
I saw Kangaroo Jack.
Did you? You and I are very different people, Tom.
It had, what's his name, from Sliders in it.
Tom, you're in your 30s, right?
Yep.
What are you doing?
I didn't watch Kangaroo Jack recently, but sometimes it's on TV.
I want to talk about this guy that made the video.
Okay. Well, I was going to say, my point was going to be that, like, even if they were going to make that, like, transitional Ghostbusters movie, regardless of what you do, if you make a sequel or reboot or whatever, if you get 4 guys in there playing the Ghostbusters, they're going to be held to, like, oh, well, that guy's supposed to be the Bill Murray, blah, blah, blah. So in that respect, when you gender swap the roles, then there's like a clear delineation of like, yeah, this is a different thing.
Right.
You can't compare these.
I mean, I'm sure they'll still be the same archetypes, right?
I mean, that's what it looks like from the trailer.
And that's the thing. Like, the way you said that, that's what it looks like from the trailer. Like, everybody is acting like this is a freaking sacred text, and everybody's reading into these trailers. Like, both these 2 trailers that came out, you were online G-chatting me, like, within minutes of it. Just
please
being
don't
like,
disclose what chat service I use.
and just like, just kind of like, well, this is my opinion on this. And it's like,
well, Tim, I'm going to have an opinion on things.
Hold on. When will people, like, especially people in their 30s who are still holding on to things that they loved as children and trying to protect these things from being enjoyed by anybody else, because nobody knows how to enjoy them correctly because they've been enjoying them since they were 4 years old. When will these people learn that nobody gives a fuck about their opinions? Like, and I said this, and you were like, well, this guy on the internet claims he wasn't even going to see it.
I didn't know I did.
Hold on. You said this guy already has 750,000 views.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, I watched that.
Yeah.
To see what a complete monstrous asshole this guy is.
You're twisting how this happened to make it sound like I was arguing like, no, Tim, see, a lot of people think this way.
You also told me that it's kind of hard for white men these days, what with all the political correctness.
All the political correctness, Tim, and the feminists and the affirmative action. It's just, when's the white man going to get a break?
I like how I've morphed into the voice of reason on this show.
Yeah. It's a terrifying world. No, my thing was, and actually here, all right, we'll get into this other video, but my thing is I've watched the trailer. Yes, I love Ghostbusters. The first Ghostbusters, I watched that a million times when I was a kid. Love that movie. I love all the people that are in this new Ghostbusters movie.
Not true.
That is true. I don't really like Melissa McCarthy.
Right. And why don't you like Melissa McCarthy, Tom?
Because she's Shane McCarthy's cousin.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. I mean, that's not a reason to dislike somebody.
No, I don't dislike her. It's just that I haven't seen...
You like Jim Carrey, and he's her dad.
What? No, Tim. That's not how it works. I've never seen a Melissa McCarthy thing that I've liked.
Huh.
But I haven't... But, like, in all fairness, I haven't watched that much with her.
Yeah.
Why
is that?
I've seen... Because I don't like her. No, because anything that I've seen her in, it's been, like, very broad stuff.
So, women,
yeah, for broads. It's been for broad stuff. Right. No, it's been just very broad, and I've just been like, oh, that's not my particular cup of tea. But I haven't thought
it is. But go on.
But I also haven't been like, oh, Melissa McCarthy again.
Yeah.
Like I really don't have like I don't really care one way or another.
Right.
But everybody else I really like. I really like Paul Feig. But from the, and again, you're going to jump on me. From the trailers, this does not look like a good movie. But the difference between me, Tim, and a lunatic online making a video is I'm making audio saying it. No, is that I watch that trailer and I think like, that doesn't look that good. And go about my day.
Well, that's the correct.
Yeah.
Like, I could understand a kid who loves Ghostbusters and seeing that this movie doesn't look good and being like, oh, man, they ruined it. But you're a man, like, not you, the man in the video. You're a man in your 30s.
Yeah.
The proper way to deal with something that doesn't look good is to not see it.
Well, and that's what he's doing, Tim.
He pretends like that's it. He's like...
he's being very noble.
Yeah, but then he talks for 10 freaking minutes about how this is shitting all over the legacy and how he feels bad for kids because this just confuses it. Don't call it Ghostbusters then. Shut up. You don't own the rights to it just because you liked it and like held on to it for your whole life instead of getting other hobbies and friends and interests. Like, it's fine.
Right.
Like, the movie studio's allowed to call their Ghostbusters movie whatever they want. And if you don't like it, they don't care. They don't care if you don't see it.
Well, it's not for you.
They don't care if the other, like, 2 million creeps like you? If you guys want to sit it out, that's fine. By its very nature, a blockbuster does not have to appeal to a fringe element.
Right.
Like, they failed if you are the make or break for this. Like, if it's like, if we can't bring out the fucking the creeps that, like, own, like, millions of dollars in laser discs, this movie's gonna tank, then they shouldn't make that movie and want it to be a blockbuster, or they should plan accordingly.
Yeah. Well,
people that own a lot of laser discs are weird, right, Tom?
I don't think there's too many people like that.
Yeah, this guy had a lot of laser discs.
Well, and I will say a couple of things. The Ghostbusters video game was for those people. Yeah. Was basically like, all right, we're going to tell that story.
Yeah.
We can't get these guys together, but we can get them to... They all did the voices. Even Bill Murray did his voice in the thing. It
was Garfield the cat.
No, it wasn't, Tim. So there's that to it.
Bill Murray sounds a lot like Garfield the cat. Sometimes they just bring Garfield the cat into...
Well, you know that whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? That he did the voice of Garfield the cat thinking it was one of the Coen brothers?
No, but that the guy who did Garfield did...
Lorenzo Music, yeah.
Venkman's voice on the real Ghostbusters cartoon. No. Well, so that was going to be one of my things. But my thing was going to be, I don't like being attacked, and it's only been by you. That when I
Tom,
say...
let's be honest. I'm the only person you talk to.
That when I say the trailer for the movie doesn't look like it's going to be a good movie, that doesn't mean I hate women. That just means I don't think it looks like it's going to be a good movie.
Tom,
and
no movies are good.
Some movies are good, Tim.
I've
seen two good movies recently.
Not franchise, big budget summer blockbusters.
No.
None of those.
Yes.
Oh no! Don't tell me freaking the Winter
Captain America: Civil War was a very good movie.
No, it wasn't. Tom.
It was, and it was for everyone.
It wasn't for everyone.
It was for everyone.
It's not for me.
Well, you're on the fringe, Tim. They don't care about you.
That's fine. And guess what? I'm not angry about it.
Well, then why'd you make a video saying you won't see Captain America Civil War? You refuse.
Because I just like sitting amongst my laser discs with a very smug look on my face.
Showing everybody.
Look how many VHS and laser discs I have.
Yeah, my opinion matters.
Yeah.
But my other point...
I'm being marginalized.
My other point about the movie not looking that good is that it's a great cast and it's Paul Feig. Like, I wish that cast made, and Paul Feig made a summer blockbuster movie that wasn't beholden to Ghostbusters, because my problem is, and I've seen this in the trailers, is that, and they've even, I think it was Melissa McCarthy complained about it, like, it's so muddled where they're like, we want to do a reboot, but we gotta, like, we're still gonna have the trailer start off talking about 30 years ago.
That's a marketing department, though.
Yeah, but it's going to be in the movie where, like, at some point somebody's going to say he slimed me. Like, they're going to do all the fan servicey things, and that's what I don't like.
Tom, every movie you watch is part of a franchise. It's all fan service.
But I'm saying for this, no, I don't like fan service, Tim. You can do it right and you can do it wrong. And this thing.
And you know what? Your opinion means nothing. Like, this is the problem with these franchises. And, like, everybody has a freaking opinion, and they feel like, oh, this is the way it should be. I have ownership because I like it. No. You know what? If you wish that Paul Feig and Melissa McCarthy made a different movie,
then bankroll it yourself.
Tough butts, Reynolds. It's not happening. They're making this movie.
No. Well, here's my thing. I wish that this was.
You're not a goddamn studio executive. You don't get to be like, well, I think the proper thing
and
to
that's
do
why
for the
that's why
Buffalo box office.
And that's why I'm saying I wish rather than I'm green lighting.
Well, maybe you should spend your wishes on better things. Also. Hold on, this thing, the thing
Tim,
that
I have infinite. The first wish, I wish for infinite wishes, so I can.
Now you can waste your time with this. Yeah. No, my other big thing with this is like, fine, you want to get mad about this, get mad about this, but people who make like this their cause, it's like this is the thing you're gonna get riled up about. Like everything else, fine, but this is your cause. Your priorities are messed up.
Right. Oh, yeah. I'm not disagreeing with that.
I'll never make an angry video online about anything, declaring. But, like, if I were, it wouldn't be about, like, some movie ruining my childhood.
Right. Oh, yeah. No,
you're supposed to evolve from, like, you should have other interests from your interests that you had when you were 6 years old. And I think many people don't understand that. Or the fringe people don't understand that. And then they expect the world to cater to them. I like this thing when I was 6, and I like it even more now. Well, that's weird. You should have had
something in between there.
Yeah. We grow and evolve, and we get more
and you can still have nostalgia for things, but...
Sure, but nostalgia's bullshit, too.
Boy, Tim, you don't sound a lot like John Hamm right now.
Wait, what?
Don Draper, his whole speech about nostalgia. Tim, if you went in there and said nostalgia's bullshit, they'd throw you right out of that boardroom.
Yeah, well, they'd be too drunk to...
Yeah. They'd be like, this guy's all right. As long as he
telling
hates
it like
women.
It is.
No, my thing, and I'm not mad about it, I just wish, and again, I do have infinite wishes, that they'd either...
I should have put that constraints on this wish situation, but fair is fair. Tim, I didn't, and you get to have as many wishes as you want. Yeah.
And now you've revealed that this show is just Tom and his genie talking every week as per his wish.
Yeah, I'm hoping like after 300 episodes you set me free.
which would explain why you're always like begrudgingly doing it and mad. But I wish. So now it'll just happen. Everybody will be like, what's he even talking about? That is the way.
Yeah.
That they either did like something completely different or like a crazy reboot of where it's like unrecognizable or a sequel. I think they're kind of trying to have it both ways, and that's going to make a more watered down product. Where it's going to be like,
what's watered down? Every single studio blockbuster.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I wish they didn't do that. I wish they just made...
But you like all the watered down studio blockbusters.
No, I don't. Not all of them.
You see every goddamn comic book movie.
Those aren't... Not all of them are watered down studio blockbusters. I
just like hearing you say watered like you're from Pittsburgh. You inexplicably have a Pittsburgh accent for one word. It's adorable.
But so I don't want to see a liquefied version of this. Make that idea. Make that sequel of like passing the torch. Or make something completely different. But they're going to try and do both, and that's what I think is not. But again...
The other thing is you don't know that.
Again, judging by the trailer. But again, I'm not that, despite my yelling, I'm not that mad about it, and I'm still going to go see it and probably enjoy it, because there's probably going to be some like really good jokes in that. I would say even like Ghostbusters is a funny movie, but it's like more of a like funny, like witty type movie. Whereas I think that this movie is probably gonna have a few like gut busting laughs in it, because that's more like those comedians' style is more that.
Do you think they're just going to be walking around smoking cigarettes the whole time, like in the
No,
first one?
and that's probably another thing, Tim. They're going to be vaping.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that'll get this guy on the internet on their
Like,
side.
well, all right. Well, I
they
guess
do.
if they're vaping,
They've
yeah.
embraced vaping. That's a step in the right direction. I just have one more thing to say about this guy's video.
Is it about how they already have the new Ghostbusters toy at the comic book shop? Because I saw that.
No.
Yeah.
This guy, is this what concern trolling is?
Concerned? I'm not familiar with the term.
Where you like pretend that like you're upset for the victim, or you're upset for like
that. You're saying like this guy doesn't really care, but he's being the voice of everyone.
No, he's pretending he's not mad because of his feelings.
Right.
He's mad because of what this was. Like his whole thing is, you know what? And it's fine. I'm an adult. I can take it.
Oh, but
the children will grow up, and this will be their Ghostbusters, and that's just sad because my Ghostbusters is the best movie. And it's like, all right, dude, your movie came out 32 years ago.
You know what, honestly?
One time my dad tried to show me the Pink Panther
I
was 6 years
same
old.
thing happened to me. I was like, where's the cartoon?
Yeah, and he's like, this is a really funny movie.
Yeah. The
And it's
cartoon came from that movie.
Yeah,
you dumb
he
little
was trying
twerp.
to tell me that. And like, I was bored the whole time, but I was like, oh yeah, no, it's real funny, Dad. And like, I've since seen it, and it's a funny movie.
Mm-hmm.
But like, there was stuff made for me, the 6-year-old,
Right.
that like, since my dad saw the original Pink Panther, they started being like, okay, we're gonna make things for modern 6-year-olds now.
Right.
There was stuff that appealed to me, and like, it wasn't relevant to me. This freaking doofus on the internet.
I thought you were referring to your dad.
No,
This doofus wanted me to watch this movie.
no, this guy is just like, no, kids should see the first one. That movie would mean nothing to a 7-year-old
And that's
in 2016, and it's fine. But it's like, let them have this one, and if that doesn't work, fine. They'll be into Doc McStuffins instead, and it'll all be fine. Everything will be fine. People will make things, and some of it'll be in your wheelhouse, some of it won't be, and like, you don't have to get mad about the things that they're making.
You know what I will say? Like, speaking of like, oh, and kids will think this. And I remember as a kid thinking that, pardon my French, thinking this was fucked up as a kid and thinking like something's off. The fact that they always in the movie, but then especially outside the movie, excluded Winston from the group.
Yeah.
That these jerk-offs, I'm talking about, I don't think it was ever Harold Ramis really, but I think sometimes it might have been, but it was mostly Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray, would talk about the Ghostbusters. Yeah, well, you know, the three of us, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, if we can get the three of us back together. And as a kid, I was like, no, Winston, the four of you.
Yeah.
Wait, why is the black guy not considered part of you guys? And then, you know, you hear later on, like, yeah, when he signed on for the movie, the first day they hand him the script or the night before, and they'd like completely rewritten his part and reduced it dramatically. Like, he got fucked on that whole thing. And then like later, again, thinking back to the kid feelings, I'm like, oh yeah, so my kid intuition was right. Like, that was completely purposeful, that they were like, nah, fuck this guy. He's not one of us. So, yeah. So, you know what? For kids, fuck those first two movies.
Yeah. In conclusion.
Because I always liked Winston the best, because Winston was the voice of reason. Winston was the audience surrogate of like, what? All right. Well, if there's a state paycheck involved, I'll believe anything you tell me.
Right.
That's the best line of the movie.
And they give it to Winston, Tom, disproving your whole point. The one other thing this guy says is like, the female Ghostbusters, which is what everybody's calling it, by the way. It's like, that's what you and your creep friends are calling it. Everybody else is calling it, oh, yeah, they're making a new Ghostbusters?
New Ghostbusters, yeah.
Huh.
Listen.
Like, oh, I was vaguely aware of that. not super aware because I'm an adult with actual adult concerns.
Yeah. Well, I just hope, you know what? Just as long as they keep the EPA as the enemy, as the main antagonist in the movie, I'll be happy.
Yeah. Somebody ought to abolish that department.
Yeah. Just as long as you show me some pencil pusher from the EPA who doesn't understand anything, destroys the city.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You want to solve a problem?
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to Tim and Tom Solve Your Problems, wherein myself, Tim, and my colleague,
Tom,
solve your problems. If you have a problem you'd like us to solve,
do it again. Introduce us.
We're Tim and my colleague
Winston. That's my favorite joke from Ghostbusters 2.
If you have a problem you would like us to solve, email us at thecompleteguidetoeverything@gmail.com. Tom?
Yeah. You know, my little brother had had when he was 6 a fall and spring Ghostbusters outfit that he would wear to school.
Oh wow!
The spring one was just shorts, but it was still a one-piece thing.
Wait, it was a onesie?
Yeah, no, it was like a movie quality.
Did he bring like the proton pack with him?
He wasn't allowed to, but he had it, and he had the ghost trap. They were both pretty cool.
Yeah. Why didn't you have them?
Well,
you have one now.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, that's pretty cool, but I'll wait till they have the movie quality one. And that's another thing. I know we're in a different segment.
Yeah.
But the other thing that these angry nerds, angry ding dong nerds don't get is that Sony's sitting back and going like, don't worry, losers. We're still gonna pump out the $500 movie replica from the original Ghostbusters movie.
And you'll still buy it.
And you'll still buy that. You'll probably buy it even more because you're like, we have to support the original movie. And guess what, shithead? We get that money too.
Yeah, they're getting it from both ends.
Literally.
Ladies and losers.
They got the lady market corner. They got the loser market corner.
Do you think we're going to make enemies with this episode? Do you think anybody got angry at our stance on this?
I think that there's too many people saying this. I mean, Grant, I'm saying like, I don't think they have the time. There's too many people to lash out at.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe we'll get some people. Whatever.
Oh, well.
Then you can go to HE double hockey sticks.
Yeah. Tom?
Mm-hmm.
This problem comes to us from a lady.
Yeah.
She doesn't want us to use her name.
Oh, well, how come we don't call this show Lady Complete Guide to Everything then? That's just what people are going to call it anyway.
What do you want to call this woman?
Let's call her Peter Venkman. Lady Peter Venkman.
Judy. As a long-time listener, I recently needed some advice for a problem which I believe to be worthy of the podcast.
Okay.
We'll be the judge of that, Judy.
Is that a Judge Judy joke?
Oh wow!
Yeah,
it is now.
You don't even know it. You're that much of a comedic genius.
I started an 8-month co-op position at a tech company 2 weeks ago.
What's a co-op position?
I don't know.
Maybe she's
from Canada.
Oh,
so it might be a weird thing.
It might be like a government thing.
I'm working for software quality assurance, testing the product as a user would, and ensuring previous bugs are fixed in the latest version of the software. The job is amazing. The people I work with are very nice. The environment is great.
But...
And I get free soft drinks.
This is... All right.
However, I feel beyond useless. I don't know what I should be doing, and when they tell me, I frequently don't know how to do what they ask me to do.
Oh, wait a minute. I don't know if this is a problem we can solve. All right, continue.
Also, as I have only completed 2 years of university, I feel like I don't know enough to be paid for my work, and I don't know the various acronyms thrown around on a regular basis. How should I go about learning enough to function as a regular employee? Should I just pester my coworkers until they know I can't work on my own, or should I just grab as many soft drinks that fit in my backpack and run? Thanks in advance, Judy. Now, she describes her job. The job is amazing. The people I work with are very nice. The environment is great, and I get free soft drinks.
Mm-hmm. That's all you need.
But she doesn't know how to do her job.
So I guess the job, quote unquote, isn't amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I thought she was gonna say that, Like she doesn't know what to do because I thought maybe like co-op, it might be like an internship type thing.
Yeah, I think that must be
yeah.
what it is, right?
Yeah, if she's saying like she only has 2 years, yeah, it's probably like a work study or something like that. But anyway, I thought she was gonna say like, yeah, like no, I don't know what to do because like nobody gives me anything to do. But no, she doesn't know what to do because when they tell her, she doesn't know how to do it.
Here's the thing. Yeah. This is real advice.
Mm-hmm.
I like your moxie.
She doesn't have any moxie because if she had moxie, she would tell the people.
Well, that's
oh,
the
hey,
thing.
I don't know.
If we're correct in reading the situation and it is like an internship, nobody's gonna fault you for asking for clarification on your duties, and also nothing they are giving you is gonna be too hard that they can't explain it.
Yeah.
In
but
a few minutes.
don't go up to somebody and ask for clarifications on your duties because you might laugh when you. Oh, can I get some clarification on my duty?
Either that, Tom.
She
could fake it, right? It's only 8 weeks.
How many weeks in is she? But I think her problem isn't necessarily that she wants to fake it either. It's that like she doesn't know she's not doing it. She's just drinking soft drinks all day. It sounds like
drink soft drinks.
I mean,
I'm sure they wouldn't even care. As long as you're nice to everybody, she could just be like, you know what? Just crack jokes, be funny, be nice, be kind. Everybody will be like, she doesn't know what the hell she's doing, but like, whatever. She's really cool. She's nice.
I mean, there's probably some other nerds there, so you can hang around the soft drinks and be like, you guys see this lady Ghostbusters? I think it's bullshit. Yeah. I refuse to see it.
You might even get a few dates out of that, talking like that.
Oh, finally, a woman besides my mom that understands.
Yeah. Or you could just research the
the Ghostbusters movies. Know about them.
If there are acronyms,
write them down.
Read about them on the
Google
internet. I bet with your sharp intellect, you'll be CEO of that place within weeks. Before your 8-week internship is over.
Yeah, I will say I've never worked in quality assurance QA, but like I've worked in companies that have had QA, and it is like they've made that type of thing so complicated and so like impenetrable from the outside. It is all acronyms and systems.
I think they just do that because it's really easy, so they need some sort of barrier to entry. I'm probably not going to win any friends by saying anything this episode.
Some of it's
like, our job is really easy. How can we continue having? Well, make everything acronyms that nobody understands.
You know what it is? Part of it, QA is either like the unsung hero of a thing, or like the people everybody's like, oh, good. And a lot of it has to do with that they're trying to find bugs and mistakes, which is inherently like nobody likes being pointed out.
I hate bugs.
Tim, I think you misunderstood. Nobody likes being told that they did something wrong.
Right.
But also,
especially by some schlub in QA.
Well, but they're telling some schlub in programming.
Yeah.
But they're also trying to systemize how they're doing it. They can't be like, I was using the thing and it didn't work. You got to tell them like exactly so it can be reproduced. So like that's why there's a lot of systems and stuff. And also, if this is like an internship type situation, also understand that no one in an office ever wants to train an intern to do anything.
Right.
Because it's a thankless job to do. As she said, she's going to be gone in 8 weeks.
If she likes the people and the environment and the soft drinks, the best thing to do is be like, hey, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And they'll be like, okay, cool. Just hang out.
Yeah.
And then you can hang out with everybody because they don't want to tell you what to do. They don't want to train. You're right. They don't want to train her. So like,
or
just sit here, drink all the Pepsi One you want, or whatever weird Canadian equivalent of Pepsi One they have up there, and
RC Cola too.
Yeah, and just drink that and just hang. Because that's what I would do if I had an intern who halfway through was like, I don't understand any of this. I'd just be like, oh, this shouldn't be my job. All right, I'll just do all the easy stuff I was giving you to do.
Well, either that, or you might find like a good person who's like, oh, let me like take you under my wing and like,
yeah, right, a bird, a talking bird, Tim.
Tim, who's gonna be better at finding bugs, but a bird.
Worms, Tom. Birds get worms
and bugs. Only early birds get worms.
Bats.
The rest get bugs.
Maybe it's a bat.
Oh, it could be a Batman or a Batwoman or a Batgirl or a Batboy. There's no Batboy. Well, in baseball, there's Batboy. Sorry, I'm breaking. What was that? What were we talking about? Yeah. Or somebody will take you under their wing, and then they'll feel smart because they get to tell you how important their job is and how they do it. And then, honestly, like if you're looking for this to turn into like an actual job.
Which I don't know why. I don't know how she ended up there, first of all. Like how...
Nah, that happens sometimes. It might have just been... Because, well, here's the thing, too. Like, within a company, a lot of people look down on or shit on QA, too. And they'll be like, we got an intern. We don't know what to do with it. Assign him to QA and just have her bang away on shit and break things.
Yeah.
How hard
Make
to
sure
break
she doesn't
things
drink too
be?
much soda.
For the love of God. Make sure she doesn't drink us out of house and home drinking all that soda.
I'll tell you something, and this is very good advice.
Mm-hmm.
Unlimited soft drinks isn't exactly like the best perk you'll find. Like, don't think like, well, I better stick with this company for the rest of my life. They give me all the soft drinks I want.
Some companies will pay you enough money that you can buy as many soft drinks as you can drink.
Yeah. Which really shouldn't be more than like 32 ounces a day.
32 cans a day, yeah.
Yeah. So that's what you're almost down to that, Tom. How much soda are you drinking these days?
Tim,
I feel like it's less, but I feel like you're drinking a lot more whiskey, so I'm not sure.
No, actually, I haven't been drinking. I haven't been drinking that much at all. No, I haven't been drinking a lot of soda because the goddamn supermarket's always out of Coke Zero.
Coke Zero.
Yeah, Tim, it's the best to drink.
This is best. This is best, Tim.
It's the best to drink. If you have a problem you'd like us to solve, you can email us, thecompleteguidetoeverything@gmail.com. You can find out more on our website, tcgte.com. You can support the show in two ways. The easy way, going to tcgte.com/Amazon and doing your Amazon shopping through there. Or the fun way, tcgte.com/pledge, where you can support us through Patreon, where you can get fun bonuses like amazing facts every week, a mini podcast this week, amazing facts about squirrels. And if that's not going to get you to sign up, then I don't know what the hell will.
Yeah.
You can also find us on Facebook, facebook.com/complete guide. You can find us on Twitter @complete guide. You can find us on Instagram @TCGTE. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram @TomReynolds.
You can find me on those things @YourPalTim.
And you can find us on Reddit, reddit.com/r/TCGTE, which is probably like a bad idea. You know, this whole episode where we're shitting on...
Oh, crap.
Forget about that Reddit link. We're not on Reddit.
I might actually cut that
out. Do you have any last words, Tim?
Well, what do you mean? Here's the thing.
Just in case.
Yeah, I think it bears my reiterating my philosophy on movies,
right?
Which is, if you can avoid it,
don't cast women.
Don't watch a trailer.
Right.
Go into a movie knowing as little as you possibly can about it, because like you're never gonna enjoy a movie that you've done like a ton of research on, because you know what's coming, you know what to expect. Also, my theory of the internet is that like sometimes people make jokes on podcasts, and like it doesn't mean like assemble like some weird internet army against them.
Yeah, some anonymous army. I will say this too about the Ghostbusters trailer so far, that they really haven't given much of the plot away. So that's really like,
yeah,
you're right. Like, I don't know what it's gonna be. And that's the first trailer had like some really crap, like worn out jokes.
Yeah, but like that's also like,
yeah, they're
that's
trying.
the kind of
it's a
joke
trailer.
that's mass appeal. Like it's showing like, hey, this like if they went to like immediately to the jokes that we think are funny,
Right.
you're gonna alienate like most of the people. They're gonna be like, oh,
Well,
it's
the
one of
jokes-
those weird humor
Well,
movies.
I was gonna say the jokes that we think are funny, but also the jokes that all the women in the movie think are funny and do.
Yeah,
like that type
exactly.
of humor.
Yeah, like Kristen Wiig and like Leslie Jones,
hmm
and Kate McKinnon,
Yeah.
and Melissa McCarthy. Like,
Well, I mean,
they do some weird stuff that like they.
well, I mean,
always-
look at the stuff that Melissa McCarthy and Kristen Wiig did in Bridesmaids that people loved compared to like the trailer, which doesn't have like
Yeah.
the best jokes in it.
Exactly, and I think that's the case with most Paul Feig movies that I've seen. Like, I've seen the trailers, and I was just like, I don't think
Yeah.
that's for me. And then I've
Well,
seen the
Spy,
movies.
yeah.
Spy, you haven't seen it?
Maybe I'll watch it tonight.
Yeah, it's really good.
Okay.
So anyway,
And that's a remake of Spies Like Us?
Yeah. with
Reboot?
ladies this time.
Oh, forget it then. Not for me. I refuse.
I refuse. There's something else I want. Oh, Tom.
Yeah.
Did you catch any of Jeopardy this week?
I heard the Celebrity Jeopardy was a shit show.
It's Power Players Week.
Okay.
Louis C.K. was playing yesterday. I
Uh-huh.
only saw clips
Wait,
of it.
so why Power Players? Isn't that...
They go to D.C. and like so it's mostly like people from like CNN
politics
and stuff. Yeah.
Okay. I saw like Michael Steele was one of them.
Yeah.
I was like, he's not a celebrity.
No, because like I think they just can't do Celebrity Jeopardy ever now because like everybody just associates it.
Yeah.
With, like, if you were a celebrity, would you go on Celebrity Jeopardy?
No.
No. But there was a woman, like I think she was like a newscaster, maybe like a CNN, and Louis C.K. was on it, and they
Yeah.
were showing like a highlight clip, and the woman buzzed in and
Yeah.
got a question wrong, like stupidly.
Yeah.
Like she made like a dumb mistake,
Okay.
and Louis C.K.
Like wasn't listening to the question closely
right,
enough
like or
something.
like she got it mixed up. She
Yeah.
had like a dumb mix up, and Louis C.K. buzzed in and said the right answer,
Mhm.
and like she's like, "Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm just gonna leave the stage now." And Louis C.K. like was like ribbing her a little bit,
Mhm.
and was like, "Yeah, no, the right answer was this." Like he repeated
Yeah.
it to her, and then she went, "All right, okay, sorry, I'll take this for 500." And Alex Trebek goes, "Hey, it's not your turn. It's Louis' turn. I'm all for women's lib, but this is crazy." Like as a joke, but the most awkward joke. Alex Trebek going, "I'm all for women's lib." It's like, oh,
Like-
brother, yeah.
It was, like one of the biggest. I mean, Alex Trebek makes like little jokes once in a
Yeah.
while, but that was him
He
swinging
went
for the
for it,
fences.
yeah.
Finally,
I enjoyed it.
yeah.
It went unremarked on.
Yeah, the contestants can't remark on the host joke. That screws up the whole
I
dynamic.
thought maybe Louis C.K. would be like, "Hey, going out there on a limb on that one,
Yeah.
Alex." But hey, all right. See you next week.